Good morning. This is X Pulse AI Morning Mix. It's Thursday, June 25th, 2026. Today, OpenAI designs for cheaper inference, Qualcomm aims at data centers, Google talent heads to Anthropic, and Washington turns up the heat on Meta. Orion's here with me, ready to jump in?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
We're leading with chips. AI Business reported on June 24th that OpenAI and Broadcom introduced a dedicated AI inference chip for large language models. What did they actually announce?
A purpose-built inference chip, so optimized for running models, not training them. OpenAI says the design reduces data movement and better balances compute, memory, and networking during inference. Broadcom also says it'll publish a detailed technical report, which suggests this isn't just a marketing slide deck.
Why is OpenAI going after inference specifically?
Because inference is the never-ending meter. Training is a big event. Inference is every user query, every agent step, all day. If you can cut latency, power, or memory bottlenecks, you cut real operating cost. Inference is where budgets go to cry.
Does this mean OpenAI is moving off its current infrastructure partners?
They explicitly said they'll keep using multiple infrastructure partners. That reads like diversification, leverage in negotiations, and fitting chips to different workloads. The bigger signal is OpenAI wants more control over the cost curve, especially as agentic workflows multiply the number of calls per task.
Staying on infrastructure, CNBC reported on June 24th that Qualcomm unveiled the Dragonfly C1000 data center CPU and says Meta will use it in production in 2028. What stands out?
Two things. One, Qualcomm is making a serious bid to be in AI data centers, not just phones and edge. Two, the Meta claim is a big credibility marker, production adoption, even if it's 2028. It signals Qualcomm expects long planning cycles and wants to be designed into future racks now.
And Qualcomm also confirmed it acquired Modular. Why does that matter?
Because winning data centers is as much software as silicon. Modular has been building software infrastructure to run models efficiently across different chip types. If Qualcomm can offer a better full-stack story, tools, compilers, runtime, it can compete more directly with NVIDIA's ecosystem, not just with raw performance specs.
How should we read Meta being linked to both Qualcomm here and those safety review headlines elsewhere?
Meta's pushing hard on scale, compute options, custom stacks, rapid model work. That makes governance more complicated because the hardware and deployment footprint gets broader. In practice, the more you scale, the more people ask, okay, show me the controls.
Now to the talent market. TechCrunch reported on June 24th that two prominent Google researchers, Jonas Adler and Alexander Pritzel, are set to join Anthropic. What's the significance?
Both are tied to Google's Gemini model work, so this isn't a random reshuffle. It's another visible transfer of expertise from Google's orbit to a top competitor. And it adds to the narrative pressure on Google AI teams after other high-profile exits from DeepMind.
Is this mostly about money or momentum?
Usually both. Money gets attention, but momentum keeps people. Researchers want shipping velocity, compute, and leadership clarity. When a lab looks like it's iterating faster and giving teams room to publish or deploy, that becomes magnetic, especially for people who can choose almost anywhere.
What does Anthropic gain beyond bragging rights?
Execution horsepower. These are people who understand the quirks of frontier training, evaluation, and productization. In a world where small architectural or data decisions can matter, importing proven judgment can compress timelines and reduce the number of expensive, learn-the-hard-way experiments.
Policy check-in. The New York Times reported on June 23rd that U.S. officials urged Meta to allow government safety evaluations of its AI models. What's driving this push?
According to the report, Meta is the only major U.S. developer that hasn't reached a voluntary agreement to share models for review. Officials want consistency. If some labs submit models for safety evaluations and one major player doesn't, it creates a gap in oversight and a competitive mismatch.
The story mentions regulators ordered Anthropic to pull its latest model. Does that raise the stakes?
It does. It signals enforcement isn't hypothetical. If regulators can force a pull, then voluntary review programs start looking like a pressure valve. Cooperate early, avoid surprises later. Meta's calculus is tricky. They'll worry about leaks and precedent, but officials want a baseline safety process.
What should listeners watch for next?
whether Meta offers limited access, like red teamed eval results, versus full model access, and whether this becomes a template. Government says if you're at frontier scale, you don't get to be the outlier.
Let's talk enterprise reality. Business Standard reported on June 24th that companies are shifting from AI adoption to measuring return on investment as deployments scale. What's changing on the ground?
The vibe is moving from experimentation to accountability. The report points to broad usage, around 63 to 64% adoption in some regions, and says leaders are now prioritizing measurable returns, governance, and analytics. It also flags growing interest in agentic AI, which can reshape workflows and staffing.
Where do ROI conversations usually get stuck?
At attribution, if a support team closes tickets faster, was it the model, the workflow redesign, or better routing? Companies need instrumentation, time saved, error rates, escalation rates, customer satisfaction, and they need governance so models don't quietly drift into compliance or brand risks.
So is this the end of the pilot era?
For many orgs, yes. The winners will be the ones who treat AI like any other production system, monitored, budgeted, measured. The novelty wears off, the spreadsheet remains.
A few quick hitters. First, BBC reported today, June 25th, that Anthropic accuses Alibaba of illicitly extracting capabilities from Claude. What are they alleging?
Anthropic says it believes Alibaba used fraudulent accounts and distillation techniques to pull out advanced behaviors, especially long context and decision-making features. If true, it's a cheaper path to replicate expensive capabilities. It also amps up IP and national security tensions around model access and misuse.
On competitiveness, Fortune wrote on June 23rd that DeepMind models are ranking behind Anthropic and OpenAI on leaderboards. How much should we read into benchmarks?
Benchmarks aren't everything, but trend lines matter. Fortune ties weaker placements and slower release cadence to internal churn and senior departures. Even if Google has strong internal models, perception affects recruiting, partnerships, and who gets the benefit of the doubt when a new model drops.
Hardware and sustainability. Yahoo Finance reported June 23rd that NVIDIA unveiled a Rubin liquid cooling reference design pushing about 45 degrees Celsius coolant, aiming to cut on-site water use near zero.
Cooling is becoming the limiter, not just chips. Higher coolant temperatures can improve efficiency and simplify facility design, and the near-zero on-site water claim is about enabling more builds in water-constrained regions. It's NVIDIA saying, "We'll help you permit and power these AI factories."
In politics, The Verge reported June 24th that about $27 million in outside activity hit New York's 12th primary, and the Anthropic and OpenAI-backed spending ended in a draw.
Right. Big spend, but not determinative. The signal is the industry is willing to play hard in policy-adjacent races, especially with AI guardrails and bills like the RAISE Act in the background. But money doesn't fully substitute for local politics and candidate fit.
Healthcare AI. Yahoo Finance reported June 23rd that Oracle is planning an AI-enabled Cerner, aiming for double-digit Oracle health growth in fiscal 2027. And PR Newswire on June 24th says Infosys is collaborating with Centara to scale AI across operations.
Oracle's trying to turn its EHR footprint into a distribution advantage, AI features embedded where clinicians already work. Infosys plus Centara is the services play. Standardize workflows, deploy AI across IT and clinical support, and prove efficiency gains. Healthcare is becoming an AI platform battle.
AI ads had a moment. Business Insider reported June 24th that REI blamed a Meta AI ad tool after an Instagram image showed a bike with 2 sets of handlebars.
It's funny until it's your brand. REI says it unenrolled from the tool, and Meta warns outputs can be inaccurate and advertisers must review. 2 handlebars, 0 excuses. If you automate creative, you still need human QA, especially before it hits paid spend.
2 funding notes. Tech startups reported June 23rd that Ngram raised $98 million to build memory models to cut token costs. Orion. What does that mean in plain English?
It's a layer that tries to reduce how many tokens you have to send to an LLM by storing, retrieving, or compressing relevant context so you don't pay to re-explain everything every time. If it works, it's basically a cost control and latency win for heavy AI users.
And Crunchbase News reported June 24th that XCures raised $46 million Series B to use AI for cleaning medical records. What are they building?
Software that standardizes messy clinical data, notes, codes, fields, into more consistent patient records. That improves downstream use, analytics, research, care operations, even training data pipelines. It's unglamorous, but in healthcare, clean data is the difference between AI demo and AI deployment.
Last one. Digitimes reported June 24th that Asia's AI data center buildout is turning green power into a supply chain stress test.
Yes, power, cooling, grid upgrades, and components become the bottleneck. You can order servers, but you can't conjure megawatts overnight, especially clean ones. The constraint is shifting from can we buy chips to can we actually run them reliably at scale.
That's XPulse AI Morning Mix from XPulse for Thursday, June 25th, 2026. Share it with someone who'd find it useful. See you next time.